Now on LWT, the London match.
Enjoy your Sunday afternoon tea at the Vicarage. Today's live action on the London match is Watford against Charlton Athletic. Just a week ago, Charlton made that long-awaited and emotional return to the Valley. And they managed to reverse the trend, which has seen their early season fortune desert them with a win over Portsmouth. Watford, meanwhile, have found goals hard to come by of late, although sometimes you feel there's a greater force working against them. No excuses at Blackburn in midweek though, their Coca-Cola run coming to an end with the 6-1 thrashing. All yesterday's other goals await you, of course, including yet another for Clive Allen as the Hammers win again. And the return of Barry Fry to Barnet, another twist in the tale of ordinary folk at Underhill this season. Now the Bees are top of the league.
Good afternoon, and who else could possibly be my studio guest today but the man himself, Barry Fry. Nice to have you, Barry.
Nice to be here, Ian.
Well, you are the manager of Barnet at the moment, but who knows, by the end of this programme you may have lost your job again.
Well, that's why I didn't ring Stan today. You never know, he changes his mind.
Well, we'll have plenty of time later on to discuss what's been going on at Barnet, all right? Hello again, nice to see Brian Moore's arrived. Now let's turn our attention to today's live match, Watford against Charlton at Vicarage Road. Now Watford beat the league champions Leeds a month ago in the Coca-Cola Cup, but the fortunes have tumbled since then, culminating in a 6-1 fourth round cup drubbing on Wednesday.
It might have been different for Watford if Paul Furlong had taken one of several chances they created early on, but probably not, because once Blackburn hit the front, everything they touched turned to goals. Mark Atkins scored with their first direct shot on target, and Perry Suckling didn't have too much chance with the second 5 minutes later. By his early season standards, Alan Shearer's been going through a bit of a barren spell. That was still goal number 19 of the season. 2-0 was tough on Watford, but their defence played an unfortunate part in the next two goals. Mike Newell turned inside, David Holdsworth got a tackle in, but somehow the ball squirmed into the back of the net. 6 minutes later, number 4 for Blackburn, Suckling came and missed Ripley's cross. Shearer doesn't miss from there. Almost immediately, Darren Bazeley did well down the Watford left, and Bobby Mims missed a cross. Furlong knocked in Watford's first goal in 4 games. And they might have closed the gap further, but for 2 excellent saves by Mims. Instead, all Watford's best spell got was 2 more sucker punches from Blackburn. Shearer's cross was headed in by Newell for his second. And then Roy Wegerle on his sub got away through the middle, and Watford were punished again with another clinical finish. Blackburn 6, Watford 1.
Well, here at Vicarage Road, they're definitely saying that wasn't a 6-1 game. It was more of a 4-2 game. I think that was confirmed by Kenny Dalglish and Ray Harford up there at Blackburn. But Luther, you only saw the match on television, I know. What's the feeling in the club about recovering from a defeat like that?
Well, I mean, disappointed obviously because now we're out of the cup and got beat 6-1. But I mean, for the first 20 minutes, we were, you know, what the lads have said, was by far the better team. And if we had taken our chance, it could have been a different outcome. But now that's behind us. It's just a matter now of getting on with our league games.
I think it's fair to say that a shortage of goals has really cost you dear here, because it's quite a few league games since Watford actually managed a goal.
That's right. I mean, the last time we won a game, I think it was Barnsley away. I think when we finally actually won a league game. So it's been a while. Goals are always, for any club, I think, going to be at the premium, really. I mean, you've got places in the Premier League where they having problems to score goals, and they haven't spent an awful lot of money to get it. we've got Paul Furlong, who's been getting a few goals, but when he's been out with their injury, we struggled a little bit.
He came back at Blackburn, and he's in again today, and he's linking up with Charlery, and I think that's a partnership that could be a pretty decent one. You might not be too happy about that, but it's got the makings, that one.
Yeah, and if they hit it off today, obviously we hope there'll be a few goals, and then that will be the story for the rest of the season, because we need the goals, and I mean, if they don't do it, I'm hoping I'll get in.
Right, I was going to say a bit about you personally, Luther. I mean, your third spell here, you're only, what, a sprightly 34, aren't you? I mean, what are your feelings about your current state in your career?
Well, I'm at a position at the moment. I've not had a chance in the first team as yet this season, and I'm just really waiting for my chance. And when and if it does come, I'm going to take it and make it difficult for them to unseat me when I get in.
Right, and I think it's fair to say, isn't it, that Watford haven't exactly done themselves justice on television so far. I mean, the people here admit that the performance of Luton was pretty
very
dreadful.
disappointing. Yeah, very disappointing, because I mean, a local derby, the games are generally very good. I mean, spectator-wise, normally very good. A bit nail-biting for the managers, but I mean, that wasn't very good on our part at all. And really, today's a great opportunity for us to put that right and let the millions out there see that we can play a little bit.
Good. OK, Luther, thanks for joining us. So that's the scene here at Vicarage Road. It's pretty chilly. The pitch is a bit of a bumpy one, and the team's saying to be out in just a moment.
OK, thank you very much, Jim. Right, well, how do you see this one going?
Well, I think Watford, after being hammered in midweek, will roll their sleeves up and have a right go. I know they've not scored for 4 games, but I fancy him to win 3-1. I think the 2 left-backs on view are 2 of the best left-backs, young left-backs in the country at the moment.
Yes, I must say that's Drysdale and Minto. I have mentioned Minto on this programme. I quite fancy him as well, yes.
Yeah, I've seen them both, and they've both impressed me greatly. I think what they said about the Furlong and Charlery partnership, I think they've only played together twice. And I think with the boy that we sold them, Willis, dropping back to midfield, I feel this is his position. And if Hessenthaler can get down the line on the right-hand side and get some crosses in, Harry Boy will be coming in back door, and with the luck I've had this week, I think one of them will let him on the head and go in here.
Well, just talk about Willis for a minute. You sold him, how much did you get for them?
We got £175,000 down, and we've got another £175,000 to come after various games and all that. So obviously I'm hoping he gets hat-trick today and stays in for another few.
What sort of player is he?
I bought him as a centre forward from Grimsby for 10 grand, and he didn't score enough goals for me as a centre forward. So I moved him to right side midfield in my team. But he's got 2 good feet, great in the air, good athlete, and in my particular setup where I play with a natural left winger, Showler got a lot of crosses in, and Harry would arrive late, and he got 15 goals from midfield for me last year.
Right, well, who do you fancy? A quick prediction?
Watford 3-1.
Ooh, right, time now to join our commentary team at Vicarage Road this afternoon. It's the Luton Town boss, David Pleat. A welcome win for his boys yesterday. And first, good afternoon to Brian Moore.
Good afternoon to you, Saint. Unpitched the parachute. Are we ready now to go with the 2 teams? Here come the 2 sides out onto this pitch. Watford, of course, in the yellow strip. Charlton today in a change strip of blue with black shorts. Let's check on the teams then. Watford first off with Perry Suckling in goal. Number 2, Trevor Putney. 3, Jason Drysdale. 4, Keith Dublin. 5, David Holdsworth. 6, Harry Willis. 7, Andy Hessenthaler. 8, Lee Nogan. 9, Paul Furlong. 10, Ken Charlery. And 11, Gerard Lavin. It's a rare opportunity, as we've said, for Furlong and Charlery to team up in attack. Furlong's had injury problems. Charlery's been ineligible for those Coca-Cola Cup games. Willis goes to the left side of midfield. Putney and Hessenthaler make a really good balance in the midfield for Watford. And Paul Furlong has become a marked man. 12 goals this season so far for the former Coventry striker. Now rated a £1 million man. There have, I gather, been inquiries for him, but Watford's Steve Perryman says quite sternly, hands off. What about Charlton then? Well, in goal, as usual, Bob Boulder. 2 is Darren Pitcher. 3, Scott Minto. 4, Steve Gritt, the joint manager. 5, Simon Webster. 6, Stuart Balmer. 7, John Robinson. 8, Lee Power, who's on loan from Norwich. 9, Carl Leaburn. 10, Alan Pardew, who comes in for the suspended Gary Nelson. And 11, Colin Walsh. Nelson's absence gives another chance to Pardew, of course, but it also means a slight tactical change. Walsh, who played so well as a central midfielder last week against Portsmouth, now moves back out to the left. Pardew is in the centre of midfield. Steve Gritt again at right back, and Pitcher is also a central midfielder. Substitutes here at Vicarage Road today for Watford are Darren Bazeley and Julian Alsford, and for Charlton are Kim Grant and John Bumstead. Referee today is Keith Cooper from Pontypridd. As I say, with me, David Pleat. Congratulations, an excellent victory for you yesterday, David. We've seen goals already up at Molyneux.
Oh, nice to win, Brian, and good afternoon to you. I think we've got a fascinating game here today, and I think the strikers will be the main people that we'll be looking at. Ken Charlery and Paul Furlong, very good channel runners. I think they will stretch Simon Webster, who's been quite outstanding whenever I've seen him this season, and Stuart Balmer. And the interesting one for Charlton, Lee Power on loan from Norwich. He started with a winning debut last week in that emotional game at Charlton. And Carl Leaburn, who I'm sure they're going to be putting crosses in early on in the game to him to test Perry Suckling's confidence after that midweek 6 goals at Blackburn.
In fact, Steve Perryman, the Watford manager, was saying that that Suckling, although he conceded 6 there, in fact had a good game. He maybe faulted him just for 1, but they in fact came away, it's quite surprising, from that 6-1 beating in quite a good mood. They felt, as Jim Rosenthal was saying earlier, that it was much more a 4-2 game than 6-1.
And those cut ties are always difficult, because once you get 2 goals in arrears, you've got nothing to lose. You've got to go for it, and in going for it sometimes you get caught even worse. So I'm quite sure that maybe quite fairly they deserve to be beaten, but not by such a score.
Well, we're just about ready to start. Watford then, as I say, in the yellow shirts with red shorts. Charlton, blue shirts, black shorts. And really no point in hyping this game out of existence for you, but we've got 2 sides in the middle of the table here, but also 2 sides who so far, live on the London match, really haven't done themselves justice at all, and they, I can tell you, are determined to put that right here this afternoon. Just Walsh away on that left for Charlton. In fact, Alan Kirbishley, one of the joint Charlton managers, still insists that if Charlton can put 2 or 3 good results together, they're going to be up amongst the leaders again. For Charlton, wins it in the air. Hessenthaler nodding it wide there. It's Lee Nogan on the far side. Hessenthaler again. Scott Minto's boot a little high there. The linesman flagging a free kick being given to Watford. Trevor Putney was there to take it. Skimmed, in fact, off a Charlton head straight into the arms of Bob Boulder. 34-year-old Charlton goalkeeper. Was our man of the match, you may remember, in the game at Molyneux, I think it was. David chose him that day against Wolves. Get towards Lee Power. Trying to get it wide towards Robinson. It's a foul there by Drysdale. Free kick now to Charlton. Steve Gritt at right back. Thought he was going to take it, but in fact Colin Walsh has come across to this side to take it. Played now for John Robinson. Drysdale trying to hold him up, but Robinson's done well here. And it's behind for the goal kick. Pitch looks a little tacky through those middle areas, David.
Yes, there's a little bit of sand on it. I'm told this is the 41st game already this season. They share it with Wealdstone, and the groundsman Les Simmons, who's been groundsman here for many years, has done a tremendous job to get it in the condition he has.
Stealing all my best lines again.
I'm sorry, but I once hit Les's car and he let me off, so I promised I'd say that.
With that header, Minto getting it away. Hessenthaler playing it in to Furlong. Nogan again, swiftly challenged that time by Walsh. They get it up to Leaburn. Webster with a long ball towards Power, who's dragged himself away to that left-hand side. Lavin going there with him. Walsh is cut into the middle for Charlton. Pardew playing it wide again, but sadly miscued, and it's a throw to Watford.
Both teams playing in fairly orthodox fashion. Watford, having lost their third centre-back, Ashby, now play with two centre-backs, Dublin and Holdsworth. And the two midfield motors, Trevor Putney and Andy Hessenthaler. And Charlton keeping the shape that served them so well all season, a 4-4-2 with Colin Walsh and John Robinson in the wide positions this afternoon.
Any problems here? No, it's Dublin who gets it away in the end. Up to Furlong. Knocking it wide here. Drysdale hitting a long ball in towards Charlery. And Minto getting it back to Boulder. Knocked straight away by him down towards Lavin, the right back for Watford. Holdsworth hitting it high again towards Charlery. One in the air though by Balmer. Tough, uncompromising central defender from Scotland, formerly with Celtic. Charlery getting it in there towards Furlong. Webster got it away, not very far. Had to be helped out by Minto again, not very far. Drysdale for Watford, keeping this pressure on Charlton. Got it down there towards Furlong, just fell behind him. It was Pitcher who got it away. Pardew trying to get it wide here towards Robinson. There was a foul on Pardew by Putney. And a free kick to Charlton.
We can expect Trevor Putney to be very competitive in midfield. Him and Hessenthaler are very good at closing people down and pressuring and biting in the challenge. And Watford, having put one or two good balls into the box, we're just looking for a knockdown to get that vital free shot at goal. And as soon as the ball breaks there, Putney and Hessenthaler, Putney in that case, keeping the pressure on by biting and trying to keep the ball in the Watford half.
There's Trevor Putney. Hessenthaler up to Charlery, trying to get it wide to Nogan. Furlong's waiting in the middle. Here's Furlong. There's a slip by Webster. Hessenthaler with the shot, saved by Boulder. Crucial slip there by Simon Webster, and suddenly Watford were in and looking very dangerous. There's the slip. There's the little ball played by Furlong to Hessenthaler, who scored in this corresponding game last season, but that time Bob Boulder was equal to it. Willis. Ricocheting again to Furlong, trying to get it wide. Minto getting it carefully back to Boulder.
Watford playing with a nice spring in the step. They look lively. They look as though they're going to buzz around.
They had this wonderful victory here, of course, against Leeds United in the Coca-Cola Cup, but in 5 games since then, they haven't won one of them. And in the 4 league games, as we were saying a bit earlier, they failed to score. But this is only the second time that Charlery, there's Peter Taylor, the right-hand man of Steve Perryman. It's the second start that Charlery and Furlong have had together. They certainly felt Watford against your team at Kenilworth Road a couple of weeks back that they really didn't do themselves justice, David. I think you were worthy winners on the day.
Yeah, well, teams that get beat rarely give compliments to the victorious side.
It's a goal kick. Nogan has won the corner for Watford, which Jason Drysdale will take. There's certainly 4 big fellas up there. Furlong, Willis, Holdsworth from the back, Charlery also, and Boulder took a knock there. Dublin tried to turn it back in, and Charlton were in a lot of trouble there, and Boulder still holding his head. He took a knock there as he went to gather that ball, and the referee calling Furlong to him.
It looked a magnificent take by Boulder here amongst bodies. A vicious kick by Drysdale. A little bit too much height possibly, but there you see he's unable to hold that ball. And then Keith Cooper blows up once the ball drops dead. And Boulder will possibly receive some attention, but in the first place I thought he really did well to get hold of that ball, but he dropped it under challenge.
Big strong lad, very popular man in this Charlton side. Something like his 7th season at the Valley. Well, he's still with Charlton. His first season now at the Valley. So Bob's all right. The free kick now for Charlton Athletic. Gritt being chased by Willis.
I think Steve Gritt, playing at right back, will be pleased that Willis will play more infield than outfield and probably won't have the type of ability to run at him and take him on and try and run past him. So Steve Gritt essentially is marking another midfield player, and that will suit Steve Gritt.
Well, he was beaten in the air by Willis there, but the flag was up for an offside, presumably against Paul Furlong. Steve Gritt, 35 years old now, over 400 games for Charlton in 2 spells. He had a little period with Walsall between those spells, and now is joint manager with Alan Kirbishley. So manager off the field and one on it for Charlton, but it was the captain Webster with the kick there. Time of foul by Power. Boy was on loan from Norwich. Striker with some ability as well. Newcastle United, you may remember, were trying to buy him before he came on loan here to Charlton. Furlong beating Webster in the air. Hessenthaler trying to get the ball in there, knock on by Nogan, knocked away again by Webster. Pardew helping it clear.
Hessenthaler has broken very well. That's the 2nd time that he's broken into the box from midfield positions, and Charlton will have to watch that. Every time the ball's played up to Furlong or played in from wide positions, Hessenthaler's on his way.
Lavin. Crossed in, a dummy there by Charlery, and almost left it for Furlong, but it didn't quite work for Watford that time. Lavin again, here comes the cross once more. Again, Webster was equal to it. Putney coming in there. Furlong coming back again, feeding the ball there for Drysdale towards Charlery on the far side now. A slip that time by Furlong, but Putney with a shot, and Boulder equal to it. Watford at the moment making all the running here at Vicarage Road, still 0-0.
Yeah, it's a lively start, and certainly Hessenthaler and Putney getting on top of their markers, Pardew and Pitcher in the midfield areas. There's Putney that time, breaking into the box, hitting it first time with his left foot as it ran away from him, and Boulder covering it cleanly. But Watford making the running all right.
Charlton with the throw, Scott Minto now. Played in for Power. Was there a shove on the back of Power? The referee thought about it the first time, didn't blow, and then he was pushed again, I think by David Holdsworth, and he awarded Charlton the free kick that time. Colin Walsh behind this one. Good free kick merchant. A little chip in, trying to find Webster with it, does so, and knocked away, I think by Willis there, yes, by Harry Willis, for a Charlton corner, which Walsh will take. Balmer's come up for this one. Both 6-footers, Leaburn and Webster there in the 6-yard area, but it doesn't reach either of them. Walsh again, playing it in for Pitcher. Knocked forward again. Walsh. To the right foot, gets another corner.
Well, I think Willis saved a certain goal there, because Power was lurking at that back post from Webster's header down. Splendidly placed free kick, and it just shows you, for all that early endeavour and good play by Watford, giving free kicks away in vital areas can lead to goals.
Here's a corner again. Put it in there towards Leaburn. He just knocked that on. Can Pardew turn it in? Pitcher turning it back again. This is Putney now for Watford. Pitcher for Charlton. Goes Leaburn. Can Walsh get in there? Good anticipation there by Suckling. He bounced off Walsh. Balmer versus Furlong. Charlton defender won it. Walsh playing it wide for Darren Pitcher. Towards Leaburn again. Knocked away by Dublin. Drysdale. And a Charlton throw. Steve Gritt with it. Drysdale onto the right foot. Finds Willis with it. Balmer in very quickly again for Charlton. Stuart Balmer. Power get there. There's an awful lot of slipping and sliding out there. Lavin, the fullback, gets it forward to Lee Nogan and it comes off Walsh. Drysdale. Put a little sent the ball into touch. Jason Drysdale, left back that Barry Fry was talking about. Two excellent young left backs here today. Drysdale and Scott Minto wearing the number 3 for Charlton. Cut out by Webster. Walsh. Down the line to Leaburn. Walsh taking it up again. And it's Minto who's made the break there. Dublin who gets it away. Did the ball go out of play? It did for a Charlton throw.
Nice combination down that left side there for Charlton. Good passing, good movement, and Dublin did well to see it early and come across and cover and concede the throw.
Scott Minto then with the throw for Charlton. Walsh. Passing again there towards Power. Webster. Knocking it in again. Leaburn might get on the end of this one. It's Holdsworth instead. And the throw out by Suckling sending Drysdale forward. Swift attack here by Watford. Nogan couldn't get on the end of it on the other side there. There was a bit of shoving there by the Watford player. Pity the referee didn't in that case. Now the advantage to be played. Charlton were nicely in possession.
Hessenthaler's looking to get forward at every opportunity. When Drysdale's in possession, he's tearing through the middle when the two strikers split, Charlery and Furlong. And Watford have to be very careful that when it breaks down, Putney's in a good position, ready to pick up pieces, or else the game could get a little bit open in midfield. At the moment, 15 minutes gone, not one offside decision. The game is being played over a nice depth for both teams.
Good run by Willis, bringing in Drysdale, driven by him this time, but it's a real optimistic one. Bristol boy, England youth, and Watford's penalty taker as well.
His father was an excellent left-back for Hartlepool United for many years. So when Brian Clough and Mr. Peter Taylor had Hartlepool United, his father was the left-back at Hartlepool United. He was one of the best, quickest left-backs in the lower leagues, just like his
Jason Drysdale did. I didn't know that. Well, his dad will be pleased with the progress that Jason's making. Willis. No, it won't reach his man. It won't reach Putney. Pardew picked it up. Leaburn played it. Walsh tried to get it through for Power. Cut out here by Dublin. Putney again. Both sides trying to play a little bit here this afternoon. Nogan Hessenthaler, as David saying, making these runs and getting well forward. Andy Hessenthaler, a lad from Kent, played with Dartford and then with Redbridge. Webster with the header. Leaburn knocking it sideways. Pardew getting it wide for Robinson. Played down the wing. Steve Gritt making the running now. Driving it in! And so nearly a goal for Charlton. A wonderful flying attempt there by Lee Power after a great run from Steve Gritt. And then at the far post, Leaburn couldn't quite finish it off, and it finishes as a goal kick. Great break though, David.
Yes, really good movement by Steve Gritt to get in on that good pass. Right across the face of the goal, perfect ball. And there was just enough work done at the back post to put Furlong off. Perfect ball, bisecting the last defender and the goalkeeper. That would have been a spectacular effort if Power could have just got that first touch. The game's open, I see goals coming.
Lee Power. From Lewisham, 20 years old. Holdsworth, and a little bit of bother there from Leaburn. Pitcher. Power. Robinson. Another run from Steve Gritt, perhaps. No, this time the ball played down the line for Lee Power. Knocked back again for Robinson. Crossed it in, but Suckling's calling for the ball, as you heard. Balmer beaten in the air that time, but Webster helping him out. Minto caught a little off balance, but readjusted beautifully to get that one away. Taking it from Willis. Charlery, the number 10. Furlong's waiting in the middle. Nogan's in there too. Right, get it to Nogan, but it came off the Charlton defender. It's a Watford corner. Just past the 20-minute mark. Still 0-0 here at Vicarage Road between Watford and Charlton. Jason Drysdale going across to take this corner. Holdsworth at the near post. Charlery just behind him. Gritt also at the near post with a header clear, not the best of corners. Putney. Holdsworth. Putney again. Dublin. Oh, it just cleared Steve Gritt. Hessenthaler now for Watford. This cross coming in. Good judgment again by Boulder, and a quick little throw out, sending Walsh on his way. Into Power. Tried to find Leaburn, succeeds in doing so. Will Power get it back again now? It's Charlton's turn to have a corner. Enjoyable game this, David.
Yes, it is. It's nice and open in midfield, Brian. I sense the team that passes it better can win this game if it stays with the same pattern. It is enjoyable.
Well, Walsh will take the corner. Again, Simon Webster up from the defence inside the Watford penalty area. And he was crowded out there. Balmer trying to get it turned back again. Pitcher caught out a little bit. On the right-hand side, it's Hessenthaler, a real dynamo in the midfield. Pitcher made up ground very well there, though, for Charlton. Not too happy with a lining decision, but it's a throw to Watford. He's taking it in good part. Understands the frustrations of players, and I'm pleased to see linesmen like that, actually. You can't take too much of it, I know, but you've got to understand there's human beings involved, and they get frustrated and they let vent their feelings sometimes. I think we got into some hot water with refereeing societies at Wolverhampton, David, when Gary Nelson was sent off for something he said.
Speak for yourself, Brian. I'm a manager, I'm not allowed to comment on referees. Saw the papers this morning, George Graham. I'm only allowed to send letters.
Minto. This is Nogan. Lavin. Charlery. Stopped by Balmer. Lavin again doing some good work down this flank now for Watford. There's his cross, but it goes behind for the goal. Lavin. 5 minutes of the game gone. Watford nil, Charlton. Bob Boulder with the goal kick. The opportunity of taking a quick free kick there by Alan Pardew.
Some referees would have looked upon that more seriously.
Yeah. Putney, played high for Gerard Lavin. And a little shimmy, gets the better of Minto, and locked behind by Webster. Devastating cross there by the fullback. Just outwitting Bob Boulder, but not his captain Simon Webster, who was at full length to put him behind for the corner.
There we see Bob Boulder possibly overcompensating slightly at the near post for the distance from where Lavin crossed it, but it was fine play by Lavin. It was a good ball in.
So a corner for Watford. Somehow they hooked it away. It was Minto who got it away almost off the line. Lavin playing it in again, and nothing to spare there for Bob Boulder. I think for a moment he was thinking it might just go over the crossbar. Charlery is the number 10. Hessenthaler. Pitcher, Minto. Walsh. Minto. Minto doing well here, putting a lovely ball through now for power. A chance now for Robinson, and Charlton are one up. Good combination there. The travelling Charlton fans thought so too. And while Watford may have had more of the play, a very open game so far, it's Charlton who take the lead. Good work here by Power, good quick thinking. At least I'm not sure whether they meant that as a shot or a pass, but to give him credit, it found Robinson. David, please.
Yeah, well, that was the class play. Scott Minto's ball into Power. Power moved well. Whether that was lucky or clever is debatable, but certainly Robinson was in a fine position to go and score a goal. Slightly against the run of the play, but I have to say that Charlton on the break looked clinical passing.
Putney playing it in. Furlong. what's going on. Colin Walsh having a little bit of treatment there. Taking a knock. Charlton get it away. There's Keith Dublin. Jason Drysdale. Charlery. Furlong. Playing it wide. Seeking out Lavin. This cross. Putney trying to keep it going. It's Walsh who hooks it away. Up to Leaburn. Forward again. I think by Pardew that time to Power. Gets it to Robinson again. Robinson's gone past Drysdale. And some good defending again there by Gerard Lavin right at the end when Leaburn was looking for the corner of the goal.
That man there, Dublin's all at sea at the moment. I don't know whether he's upset about the goal that's gone in, but he made a real error there. And Charlton managed to get that ball through then to Robinson. Drysdale also got caught looking to make a challenge, and Robinson rode the challenge and once again put a ball into a really dangerous area. Warning signs.
Gritt with a throw. Nope, changed his mind, it'll be a long one. Corner given. Came off Keith Dublin. Second goal for Charlton since he joined them earlier this season from Brighton when Robert Lee went up to Newcastle. Robinson again. Some might say it was a simple goal, but he had to be there to score it. He was in an excellent position. Power did well also. Minto in that build-up, and Charlton putting on this pressure. There's Minto again trying to get the ball through to Balmer. It's Hessenthaler who puts it away this time for Watford. Gritt returning it. Lavin with that header up to Furlong, chested down by him towards Willis. Charlton win today would take them up into 7th place. And they'd only be 5 points away from Tranmere, who are in 2nd. Hessenthaler. Pitcher. Up to Power. Forward again towards Leaburn. Pitcher likely to be caught from behind, and was by Furlong. Willis is away on the left here. Hessenthaler always available for anything in the midfield for Watford. Drysdale taking it up again. There's the long cross there. It's too deep that time for Bob Boulder, and in the end it was too deep also. I think it was for Nogan coming in the far side, but they've got a corner.
Really is a superb delivery there. Teasing deep delivery.
Came off Minto for the corner then, which Drysdale will take. Holdsworth at the near post alongside Charlery. Furlong and Dublin and Willis all that little bit deeper, so there's plenty of aerial strength for Watford in that box. And also Bob Boulder's there again. Lost his place in the Charlton side through a little lack of confidence earlier this season. Thank goodness, he's full of confidence and good keeping here so far this afternoon.
I think if you look at the Charlton record, Brian, it's based on good team play, which means good defensive play. They haven't conceded goals. Indeed, I think that's only their 24th goal this season that they've just scored in the league, which, considering the statistics you gave, they're getting near to the top of the league if they win this one. You know, that shows that it's a very good sound team effort. Good work to protect their goalkeeper, and good goalkeeping of course too.
Here's Robinson again. Getting it away. Pardew might just get to this first, finds Gritt. Knocked back again towards Webster. Leaburn trying to get it into the path of Power. Willis then giving it away to Power, not to Leaburn, back to Power again. Pardew playing it wide to Walsh. Walsh again to the head of Leaburn. Willis to the chest of Leaburn. Walsh again. Power looking for something on the turn, possibly. No, plays it, or tried to play it back again to Walsh. Minto's in again. And there was a foul, or an intended foul, by Lavin on Minto. I presume that's what the whistle's gone for. A free kick. Walsh with it. Webster. Pardew. Trying to run Drysdale. Gets a free kick for obstruction.
Drysdale could really, I think he's going to get caught here, Brian. The referee's ruling is quite clear this season. If players kick the ball away after the whistle has gone, then it's a yellow card, and Jason rather stupidly kicked that ball into row X after that whistle had gone to delay the kick, and he gets a yellow card for his silliness.
Well, it's a free kick then. Nogan on the far side for Watford. A goal down. Charlton scorer John Robinson after 26. Charlton warming up Kim Grant on the other side there. I don't know whether there's maybe one Charlton player that's struggling a bit that we haven't seen as yet. Over the head of Gritt. Willis. That in well, no, picked up by Walsh. And Walsh with his right foot getting it away to Drysdale. Here's Putney. And as you were saying a little earlier, the Charlton passing is much more clinical than Watford's at the moment, David.
And Watford are very stretched at the moment. Willis has got to tuck in more. They've got to make sure that when they get into the Charlton half, the Charlton defensive half, that they keep the ball in there and a little bit more patient. They're wanting to get the ball in early into the box to Furlong and to Charlery. Boulder's quite competent. The centre-back, Webster's coping in the air. And when Charlton break out, they're using the ball more efficiently.
Just under 10 minutes of the first half remaining. I think it's Colin Walsh who had some treatment a little earlier who's going off. Indeed he is. Kim Grant comes on. No disrespect to young Kim Grant, but they will miss Walsh's influence in those midfield areas, David.
Absolutely. I think he gives them that superb clinical left foot crossing from that left side, and he's one of the players who never gets caught up in the frenzy of the game. He's always happy to put his foot on the ball. He's been an outstanding signing, really. It was Lenny Lawrence that took him in. He's been tremendous for Charlton Athletic.
Balmer gets it away. Yes, he's been there since 1986 from Nottingham Forest. Hessenthaler, though, for Watford. Break is on here by Lavin. Some excellent defending by Minto, and he showed too much of that for a moment to the defender. Had to hurry with his clearance. Didn't make a good one. Time it's Pitcher. Struggling to get this away at the moment, Charlton. Hessenthaler playing it wide this time. Drysdale up to Willis here. Nice turn by Willis, playing it into Hessenthaler. Willis might come back again with this one. Across the face of that goal, he really should have done a little better with that. And he worked so well getting into that position.
Yes, there was a bit of zip about Willis, the guy that Barry Fry was talking about before we came over here. That was good play, following up his ball. He whipped it into the centre there. The merest of touches could have given Charlton a shock, but it wasn't to be. But Willis needs to grow in confidence. I think he's had a quiet time since he arrived from Bonneteer, and he needs to get the supporters on his side.
Here's Holdsworth. No, the whistle's gone for a free kick. A foul on Lee Power. it down. This is the goal again coming, David. Minto's contribution.
Fine play by Minto. Not only did he intercept it by coming towards the ball, but he quickly saw the pass, and then Power plays it into the path of Robinson. I think Drysdale realised that he could not cope with that ball, and they were really left spare at the back.
Robinson, one of those curiosities in a way, born in Zimbabwe, somehow qualifies to play for Wales. Can't understand those things anymore, David.
Well, at least his name's easy to pronounce. Right. It's not an Endlof or a...
That's right.
I don't know any other Zimbabweans or whatever they...
Grobbelaar's another one, of course. Here's Gritt. Leaburn knocking it down. Pitcher playing it wide. Here's Minto. For Darren Pitcher again, might try a little dip at this one. Goal kick.
He's done well, Pitcher. Early on I felt that the Watford midfield, the strength of Hessenthaler and Putney, were going to take the game, but Pitcher's coped quite well. He's tracked Hessenthaler, he's looked to join in, his passing is sound.
Webster, foul by him. There was a little shove by him on Charlery. Drysdale. Should be Boulder's ball. Five minutes to go in the first half of this Barclays First Division game. Charlton leading 1-0. Holdsworth caught a little off balance. Here, it's a few empty seats as well. It's not the biggest crowd by a long way, but I'm told most of the shops in Watford are open today, so you can be sure there are a lot of would-be fans being dragged around the Christmas shops. Shot charge down. Lavin with a shot and a goal kick for Charlton. Up behind that goal that Bob Bowler's in now, that with Charlton back at the Valley, Watford also planning an exciting £3 million facelift with some help from the Football Trust. Roofing and seating at that Vicarage Road end, completing the lower section also of the Rouse stand where we're working now. The work's going to start in the summer. We'll take the seating up to some 16,000 here, and eventually they're planning 25,000 all-seater stadium here at Watford, so there's some really exciting plans. Robinson goes away. Tries to get it into the path of power. Holdsworth very nearly put in there for him. Charlton claiming that ball had gone beyond the byline, but I don't think it had. Once or twice they're looking really slack in defence of Watford. Here's Grant. Minto. Leaburn getting up there, but at time beaten in the air. But Leaburn's form in the last couple of weeks seems to have reappeared. Putney trying to get it wide, cut out by Robinson. Doing a good, tidy job down this right flank for Charlton. Power chasing this one. Dublin got there with a header though for Watford. Willis. Ooh. Tackled strongly there by Gritt, but Willis was strong enough to withstand it, to get the ball away first to Hessenthaler, and here's Trevor Putney. Should be bowler's ball, and it is.
Well, Putney will be annoyed at himself. That's twice he's given the ball away when he's got nice free space in midfield. Brian, I have to say, unless the Watford hospitality white wine has given me a glazed look, I haven't noticed one offside decision in 40-odd minutes. The linesmen really, apart from having to signal for throw-ins, have had a lovely quiet afternoon, and that's what's made it such an open, enterprising game. Not one offside decision.
Well, here's Grant. I don't think there has been. No, I think you're right. Didn't know about the white wine though, David. Here's Robinson.
Well, it was yours, Brian. You left it.
Quite a battle here. Drysdale and Robinson. Robinson thought it was his, but it wasn't. He's done a tidy old job actually since he came from Brighton, you know, David, hasn't he? He had a good game last week against Portsmouth, I thought, and he's done quite well here this afternoon again.
The early signs are that it was good business. You sell one for 600 or 700, and you buy one in for 50, and you use the freedom of contract, because I think it was under those regulations that Robinson arrived at Charlton from Brighton. He's a resourceful worker up and down the right side. He crosses it well, and he can get the odd goal.
Little knock on there. Watford getting it away. Grant trying to turn it back in again. Hessenthaler will drag it away though for Watford. Playing it wide for Nogan on the far side. Charlery and Furlong are in the centre for him. Hessenthaler's continued that run and has gone down the right. A little decoy there. Here's Furlong. Gets it across. Down goes Boulder again. Excellent career Bob Boulder's had. A Dover boy. Had a long spell with Sheffield Wednesday, a shorter spell with Liverpool, then with Sunderland. And then back in '86 for £20,000 to Charlton.
You might not know Brian, he once had a spell at Luton under me as well on loan.
Did he though? It's a great character.
Yes, nice lad.
Grant again for Charlton. Leaburn. Get it forwards. Again towards Furlong. Knocking it wide. Furlong well held so far. 12 goals this season, the big number 9 has scored. Wood Greenboy actually, he had a little spell with Enfield and then went to Coventry. Hasn't got on the target so far in the first half as the whistle goes for the end of 45 minutes. One man who did get on target was the Charlton number 7, John Robinson, with his second goal of the season, the first of the day for Charlton. And also some excellent work right at the back by Bob Boulder has given confidence to the whole of the Charlton defence, who really have performed very well indeed. Half-time then here at Vicarage Road. Watford 0, Charlton 1.
Welcome back. Well, Barry, if your prediction is going to be right, we need 3 Watford goals this half. You've got a Charlton one in.
I knew Charlton would score, mate, a game of it, you see.
Yes.
The way it's going, I can't see where Watford's going to score from. I think they started off brightly, but after that they've lost their way, and Charlton look much more comfortable in possession and what have you, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it looks to me as if, you know, there's so much space in the middle of the field there, and there's only one team really exploiting that, and that is Charlton, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, what's happening with Watford, they're being stretched from one penalty area to the other penalty area. There's 80 yards.
And then David Plead on the course. First of all, Brian Moore.
Thank you, Jim. Away we go again at the start of this second half then. Watford now attacking the goal to the right. Goal down to Charlton Athletic. Minto backpedaling as Nogan attacks him. We shall look for that degree of aggression now in Watford's play as they seek to pull this game round. Lavin with the throw for them. Pass Kim Grant. And it came off Darren Pitcher for the corner for Watford. Bowler didn't get to it, but there are plenty of Charlton boots that did. And again, doing well here. A touch there to Charlery. Again towards Furlong, but Simon Webster quite happy to see that one go behind for the goal kick to Charlton Athletic.
They mustn't get too anxious, Watford. They must try and keep the ball a little bit and try and induce Charlton out. I'm sure that Alan Kirbishley and Steve Gritt have been saying in there, you can expect a bombardment in the first 15 minutes.
Kirbishley on the right. Leaburn makes the right connection, at least not the right pass. Hessenthaler taking it up with Charlery on one side of him. Pardew trying to get back. Willis on the far side. Drysdale bringing it in. Charged away though by Robinson. Gets the ball forward up towards Power. Now David Holdsworth. Minto getting it back. And Watford with a throw. Hessenthaler with it. Minto now for Charlton. Stripping it to Robinson on the far side. Steve Gritt's made the break again. Ball given away badly there. Straight to Pitcher. And his shot pushed away there. They're all looking in the direction of Jason Drysdale, who gave that ball away in a very dangerous fashion, and it needed that little push away from Perry Suckling to prevent Charlton from going two ahead.
Yeah, that really was a nervous, awful ball, that. Right into the centre to give a shooting chance.
Webster's gone for this one. Leaburn, another 6-footer right just on the edge of the Watford 6-yard area. There's a corner floating in. Webster didn't quite get a touch, and it's knocked behind by Dublin. It's by Furlong. So another corner for Charlton, which Robinson will take. Leaburn is poised. Webster's in there. Balmer's up from the back too. Pardew in from the midfield. 5 Charlton men inside that Watford penalty area as the corner comes floating in. And it's Pardew's header eventually that just clears the crossbar.
Good movement in the box there by Charlton. Looked as though that was a training ground corner. They've been working at that one. A good driven ball by Robinson, but good movement by Webster and the big black centre forward Leaburn there that left Pardew coming in on a one-on-one on the back post.
Suckling with the kick. Webster now back doing his defensive work. There he is again, Webster slicing that one, but you can't fail to be anything but impressed by what he's done so far. He just had 3 games early in his career at Tottenham, and then went to Exeter and Huddersfield, Sheffield United, and now here he is at Charlton. He's an excellent captain. Free kick given Watford's way. Foul by Robinson. Certainly plenty of big men from Watford forward inside this Charlton penalty area again. Floated short there by Drysdale to Putney, driven by him and pushed away well by Boulder. Another corner for Watford.
Good bit of improvisation there by Watford. Clever play, everyone expecting the deep cross. Putney peeled away and drove that ball. Well saved, Boulder.
Here comes a corner again. Putney with this one. Floated in there. It was Steve Gritt who got his head to it. Here comes another one in there. That time it was Webster got his head to that one. Hessenthaler. Dublin for Nogan. Furlong come off his man. Leading the game by Dublin. Leaburn right back there. Charlery bringing Nogan into the play. A little too high for any of them, and even for Holdsworth who's chasing it, and it's a Charlton throw. And Charlery, signed from Peterborough, before that of course a Maidstone United player. Holdsworth knocking it forward. Putney, Hessenthaler. Lavin to Nogan. Back to Lee Nogan again. Some good passing here from Watford. Charlery getting it back for Nogan again. Might be tempted to try a shot here. No, they are crowding him out. They're pushing him wide. Hessenthaler getting it in again there. And it came off Boulder. And he's gone in from Charlery. Watford at 1-1. Charlery the scorer, David Pleat.
Well, a deep cross by Hessenthaler there. I think it's a little bit of a fumble here at the back post when it comes in. Yes, it spills out of Boulder's hands, and Charlery's quick to pounce. Exactly what the doctor, the manager, ordered at half-time there. Perryman said, you've got to get on those high balls, you've got to pick up the knockdowns. There's a deep ball, there's a knockdown, and there's people following up, sniffing the goal. I have to say that Lee Nogan was absolutely excellent in the build-up to that goal. Very patient, very composed. That was really good play by Watford that led to Hessenthaler's cross, and I hope that's a lesson for them.
Pardew winning it in the air. Lavin. Hessenthaler. Furlong. Nogan again. David said had such a part in that opening goal. Putney playing it in quickly. Charlery trying to get on the end of that one. Knocked away very efficiently that time by the Charlton defence. Robinson trying to get it up to Power. A slip by him again. And suddenly Willis can take it up now. Willis finding Furlong. In turn finding Lavin. It's a different Watford now. Stopped by Minto. Nogan again. And in the end, Charlton get it away. Watford were appealing for an obstruction there on Nogan. Cardiff boy came from Oxford United. Joined, in fact, Watford a year ago this week. Goal again, David.
Yeah, there we see that little ball out. A deep, high cross. Boulder comes across his goal, gets to cross that near post, but he's on the back foot, isn't he? As he takes that ball and it spills out of his hands.
Grant hitting it from a long way out. Get the feeling there was a nasty little deflection just before it got to Boulder as well, which probably wrong-footed him. Foul there on Pardew by Paul Furlong. On the knee this week in training as well, did Alan Pardew, and that won't help him.
That's rather late there of Putney, and I have to say, maybe lucky to escape a yellow card. There's certainly been nothing vicious, malicious, or in any way difficult for Keith Cooper so far to maintain his authority in this game. But that was a late challenge.
It's Charlton's free kick. Stuart Balmer with it. Leaburn's an obvious target. That way, Webster too. It was Webster who got the header in. Balmer with a back header. And Willis got that away very well indeed for Watford. Towards Furlong, who's been well... Steve Gritt doing his best to hold off Furlong, and I think the Charlton assistant manager is going to get a yellow card. Or the joint manager, rather.
I wonder if Mr. Kirbishley will condone that booking.
Well, I think it's probably a fair booking when you look at what Steve was up to there. Yellow card.
He was caught out for pace, wasn't he, there by the quicker forward of Watford, and he thought he might just be able to delay that throw.
Charlton's throw. Shove in the back on Leaburn, a free kick to Charlton. Simon Webster with it. Carl Leaburn. It's Trevor Putney for Watford. Putney again. Lavin. Hessenthaler. Foul, the referee playing on, and again, and Grant can take it up now for Charlton. So it's a good break by him, and he's got power on one side. What can he do with it? Nothing at all that was of any value to Charlton. Holds his head in his hands for a moment there because he realised that there were several options open to him. Power on one side, Robinson on the other, and Leaburn through the middle.
Yeah, it was a great chance there, 4-3-3 situation. Robinson wide on the right, I think was his best alternative.
Webster getting it away, up to Leaburn, beaten in the air by Dublin. Robinson couldn't quite keep it in play. It's a Watford throw. Steve Perryman, the Watford manager, in the centre. Little touch by Power. Again, Watford getting possession. They've got that little bit of devil in their play in this second half. Helped by Ken Charlery goal. It's made it 1-1. And here they come again with Lavin. Putney. Minto in quickly. Howe's giving it away. It's a Charlton throw. Hessenthaler chasing this one. To Steve Perryman about this man, he'll say, he's my dynamo. He never ever stops running for a moment.
There's a few players here that are good workers, good grafters. They've come from non-league backgrounds, Brian, and they're hungry players. People like Charlery and Hessenthaler, Willis.
Well, here is Charlery. Shot quite easily gathered up by Boulder. Lavin falls straight to Grant. Got got some support from Pardew. Plays it out wide for Pow. Almost got that in for Leaburn. Cut out by Holdsworth, I think it may have been. Nogan. Putney. Charlery, the little touch for Hessenthaler. Balmer dragging it away.
Hessenthaler is making those same runs as in the first half, and at this moment he's losing his marker. Pitcher.
That came off Pitcher for the corner. Charlery, Nogan, Willis, Furlong, Dublin, all up there now for Watford. Floated in. Coleman, who got a header, helped away by Leaburn. Hessenthaler playing it wide again. It's a Watford throw. Drysdale with this one. Leaburn. Forward to Grant. Eyes in the middle. Robinson's made a great break for him. And he's almost, well, he almost picked up Power. Then it just needed a little more purchase on that pass. That would have been an excellent one. Grant, Putney caught in two minds there. Grant dispossessing him. Getting it back for Pitcher. Now for Minto. Forward again towards Power. Little touch by him. Will he get Leaburn with it? No. Balmer steadying it back to Boulder. Time now to measure up this clearance. Leaburn winning it in the air, but it's the boot Putney that got it away for Watford.
Charlton desperately need to get their passing game going, to get more composed and just take the strain out of the game. Watford, as we expected, really came for Charlton in the first 15 minutes. They've got the benefit of the equaliser. Now Charlton just need to get hold of the game again and start trying to pass the ball around and use the width.
Darren Bazeley coming on for Watford as Lee Nogan goes off. 20-year-old lad from Northampton. This is Scott Minto. Darren Bazeley, 20 years old from Northampton. Came up through the Watford ranks. Robinson. Minto. Robinson, stopped by Putney, helped by Willis, plays it into the path, that busy little man Hessenthaler. Drysdale hitting a long ball, excellent pass there to Charlery, but cut out by Steve Gritt for Charlton. Charlery picks it up again though, gets it down that line, and suddenly Charlton could be in trouble here. Into the side netting, Paul Furlong.
Marvellous chance. It was a mistake by Steve Gritt. Clever little ball there. Webster stretching and a flashing left foot shot. Needed to go across the other side of the goalkeeper, across the goal, rather than try and hit the near post.
Still 1-1. Robinson for Charlton and Charlery for Watford. To his right, and he's found him well this time. Robinson in a lot of space on this far side. Powers looked for him, and Robinson couldn't quite get to it. Watford will get it away. There's Balmer. Made in for Pitcher. Not forward again for Robinson. Lavin one way, then the other, finds Scott Minto. Still with Minto onto the right boot, and he hit it straight at the defender, Jason Drysdale. Balmer gets in. Charlton still quite a proposition on the break, David.
Yes, once or twice when Putney and Hessenthaler have really joined in, they're really going for the game, Watford, and on the counter, Charlton seem to get men over. Once or twice in recent moments, they've had 4v3 situation and a 3v2 situation. And if you can make one of those count, Watford could pay for their determination to get in front.
Charlton's throw with Scott Minto. Drysdale, getting it long again. Balmer with the header clear. Willis, Hessenthaler, Lavin, Putney, Charlery over on the far side. And Watford very determinedly getting it away. It was Kim Grant, I think, who made that clearance. Pitcher getting it back to Steve Gritt. Hit forward again by him towards Power. Keeps it in play. Leaburn chasing. Holdsworth there in command, though. Supported by Dublin. Charlton's throw.
And still no offside decision.
Still no offside decision. We've now played 21 minutes of the second half. The score is 1-1. Pitcher playing it in for Power. For something on the turn here. Holdsworth with the clearance for Watford. Gritt keeping it going with that header, finding Grant now. And onto the roof of the net for the goal kick.
I must say Charlton look quite lively when they get deep into Watford territory. I've seen them 2 or 3 occasions this season, and I've always thought they keep their shape well and defend well in numbers, but have been slightly unambitious. But I have to say, on the break this afternoon, they've got their players forward, and they're desperately trying to get this second goal.
Balmer, good job. Leaburn knocking it on. Can Power get there? Foul and a free kick to Charlton. In the wall. Webster fancying a long-range dig at this one. Balmer. With the clearance. Furlong, and then not forward again. Hessenthaler's chasing, but Boulder's there first. Holdsworth nodding it back. Webster. Gritt with the clearance. Leaburn. Long legs of his tangled up there. Appeal to the referee for a free kick. Dublin knocking it forward again though for Watford. Gritt backpedaling, and it's Furlong taking it up again. He's got Charlery in the middle. He's got Willis in there too. And Minto with a header just held things up for a moment. Now being challenged by Hessenthaler. Willis again. Back for Lavin. Willis, driven the cross in. Robinson who got that one away. Putney, Grant, Powell. Willis again for Watford. Putney. Again it's Putney. Good challenge there by Balmer. Knocking it away up towards Powell. Little touch by him to Leaburn.
Both teams are able to get the ball into the front players so easily because there's so much space in midfield and play off the front players.
Steve Gritt now. Playing it to Leaburn. More time there than he allowed himself with that little flick. Still very open indeed. I think it's going to be a booking for the Charlton captain, Simon Webster. It was a challenge from behind. It looks as though he's done himself no good.
He's done very well against Furlong, but I have to say there, he doesn't have to tackle him there.
No.
As long as he's tight with him and he makes Furlong play it, goal side, goal, and then he gets back and his other defenders get round and cover. He doesn't have to take him to ground there at all. It's a silly challenge.
He's done well this afternoon, and also Balmer alongside him has done well, David.
He has. He's a very calm player. He's improving quickly.
But Furlong's okay on his feet again. Drysdale with the free kick. Balmer's Grant away. Power chasing. Holdsworth is quick also. Gets it back to Suckling. Not the best of clearances by him, but Pitcher couldn't hold on to it. Willis now operating down this right-hand side of midfield. Minto up to Leaburn. Little touch back by him to Pardew, former Crystal Palace player. Taking it wide for Robinson. Pitcher playing it wide again after Robinson had made a nice darting little run, having played the ball, but Robinson gets it again now for Charlton. Played in there towards Leaburn, and in the end, not a very good clearance by Bazeley. All the way there by Suckling.
Well, it's nice and open, Brian, isn't it? End-to-end stuff, loads of space in midfield. It has a smell of a goal.
Balmer. Grant. Plays it for Putney. Sweeps it wide for Robinson. Charlton coming into this game now at this stage of the second half. Trying to shake off Drysdale, but two of them there. Bazeley and Drysdale between them. Get away from Robinson, but at the expense of a corner.
Drysdale looks very tired to me. He's really looks as though he's found it hard going this afternoon, whether he's carrying a little bit of an injury.
Well, he's got to soldier on for another 16 minutes yet. The score at 1-1. Here's Charlton's corner. Floated in there. Webster. And a throw to the visitors. Minto playing it in. Dublin getting it away. Here's Pitcher. Gritt. Robinson. Just out of play, so it'll be a throw. Webster's header clear. It's a Charlton throw. Webster again, stretching and just getting the header. Pitcher getting it away. Beautifully balanced game, this one. Still at 1-1. Charlery trying something on the turn. Putney might get it wide again. And some good work by Boulder.
Nice little trick by Bazeley there on the left-hand side. I was about to make a comment, Brian, that I'd like to see Willis and Bazeley switch side. Bazeley on the right-hand side, crosses a superb ball into the box. Here he is, that lovely little step over, right foot over the ball, outside of the left foot, but near post where he wants it, drifting across the face of the goal. But good play by Bazeley.
Here's Power. Now, what sort of pace has he got? Enough to beat Dublin. He's forced him wide, which is really what Watford wanted. Against the crossbar! Not in just wide. Leaburn against the crossbar. And a real touch and go there. It's Holdsworth, I think, who just got down and knocked it wide. Played in there by Power, did so well. Leaburn against the crossbar. And a corner then for Charlton coming up now. Webster with it. Pardew over the top.
Both sides have put so much into the attacking aspect of this game. I have to say they look tired in the defensive areas when they come under pressure. It's a sticky pitch. It's not too heavy, but it's sticky, and I think the players are now just beginning to feel the effect of it, particularly the midfield players who've had to cover so much ground between the two back fours. Hessenthaler has run non-stop. Putney's put a lot of work in there. And at the moment, Charlton, if anything, just look the more likely side.
In goes Pardew. But it's Watford's throw. Webster with this one. We're seeing some good, open, attractive football in this first division of the Barclays League. Saw a wonderful game yesterday between Millwall and Grimsby, David, and a real mouth-watering one for us next week, live on the London Match, when we go to Newcastle versus Millwall, and I'm sure the Saint will be telling us about that a bit later on. But still, it's 1-1 here at Vicarage Road between Watford and Charlton, with about 12 minutes left. Just keep that promotion for next week going by telling you that we're on a little earlier next week, 2:10 on the air, and the match at Newcastle, between Newcastle and Millwall, just make a little note of this, kicks off at 2:30 and not at 3 o'clock. And that really is one not to be missed next week. There goes Webster. Pardew half caught there, but in falling still finds Darren Pitcher. Minto. Forward towards Power. Grant. Just held up by Hessenthaler. Who else? Stopped by Balmer. Ball back by Pitcher to Bob Balmer. Leaburn knocking it on, yes, just offside. The linesman absolutely right.
That's the first.
The first one. The first offside, and we've played 80 minutes, David.
Well, that's good. That says everything for Steve Perryman and the Charlton management pair, because they've played the game properly.
Furlong almost getting in, but once again, that man Balmer there. clear. Webster again getting it clear and doing well this time, finding Robinson. There's a Watford player down injured. Up to Power. Robinson to Power. Good break here from Charlton. Leaburn's waiting in the middle. Pardew. Power. Playing well here now, Charlton. And Pardew almost on the end of it. It was Putney who was injured for Watford, but he's up and on his feet and getting back into the action again.
Very lively passing between Power and Robinson. Power's come into his own in this half. He's looked very lively. He's sharp. He made a marvellous cross when Leaburn headed against the bar and Holdsworth made that last-ditch save. That was really a tremendous ball that he got back from the byline there. He's had a good second half.
Lee Power knows he's very much in the shop window. He's with Norwich. Newcastle are keen on having him, and he was on television last week, of course, on the London match on Charlton's return to the Valley, and here live again today. If managers are looking around, he's got a perfect opportunity of showing them what he can do. Pitcher. Hessenthaler hustling down that flank. A foul by Pitcher. The free kick. Stirring word from the referee as he was passing, and the free kick given to Watford. Could be a dangerous situation, this. It's the free kick. Drysdale and Putney behind it will dink one in there to any one of 5 or 6 players. It's driven in. Good work by Bowler. Could easily have been caught out by that one. And some good work also, some good thinking by Jason Drysdale. Saw that gap at the near post and really rifled the ball in there at it. This will be a good action, a good angle to see it. Willis getting the ball forward towards Charlery. Grant injured. 7 minutes left. So which way is it going to go, David?
It's a knife edge, and that's not clever to say that, because both sides have played with such a positive attitude when they've had possession of the ball. And I would suggest now that whoever loses it would be slightly unlucky. I think Charlton, for an away side, have played some good football. They've stayed with the game when Watford early in the second half threatened to really overwhelm them. They had that little period. Charlton have stayed with the game well. They've got their passing back on song, and for an away team their performance has been creditable.
Well, you've got to start exercising your mind about the man of the match very shortly, David.
That's a very difficult one today, Brian.
I was going to say, there are a few candidates, aren't there? Leaburn didn't quite get a touch on that. It was Dublin's header away. Pitcher got to that one. Here's Willis. Good work there by Steve Gritt. Just ducking in there. Webster playing it calmly wide for Robinson, the Charlton goal scorer. Robinson scoring for Charlton in the first half. Charlery equalising for Watford in the second. Up goes Webster again. Pardew. Back for Robinson once more. Dublin. Robinson again. Into the crowd for a Watford throw. Just 5 minutes left. There's Webster. Foul on him. Charlery. What did I do wrong? They've had a good battle today, Webster and Charlery. Webster and Furlong. Balmer and Furlong. Balmer and Charlery. Maybe the words became a little too heated there, and referee Keith Cooper has decided that he needs to calm things down. Seems to be pretty amicable A Boulder then with the free kick for Charlton Athletic. I'm sure their fans down in South London are just looking at the watch and hoping that their team can hold on for a very good away point for just a few minutes longer. In the meantime, it's Furlong playing it wide. Charlery waiting in the middle. Pardew getting it forward to Leaburn. Back again for Pardew. Not forward this time. He hoped to find lead power with it. It goes straight to Lavin. Holdsworth playing it forward. Hessenthaler. In comes Grant. Brings it away now for Charlton. Came on as a substitute in the first half for Colin Walsh. Has really done quite well. Minto. Grant again. Pitcher. This is Minto. Getting it in for Leaburn. Just driving it wide. Deflected a little bit on the way, it seemed to me, for the corner, yes.
That was top quality thinking. The ball played in by Minto was a lovely pace ball. Leaburn came across, a much improved player. And Power's quickness of thinking, the way he took that ball on, that was out the top draw, that. There's Power coming across and stroking that ball past not only the goalkeeper, but unluckily for him, the far post. That was a fine effort. That wouldn't have been out of place at Anfield.
Here's Robinson with the corner for Charlton. Deeper one this time. Balmer trying to get on the end of it. Webster just knocking it back in. Leaburn trying to get it in there to Minto, but there are too many Watford bodies there, and Watford might have a chance of breaking out. No. Grant. To Leaburn. Drysdale long forward, away by Webster. Hessenthaler. Charlery up ahead of him, Putney behind him. Lavin away on the right here. Oh, a nice little turn by Hessenthaler has earned him a yard or two of space. Now how well can he use it? Leaburn across there, trying to hold up Jason Drysdale, gets the ball back to Steve Gritt, the wily old pro, knocks it up the line there. Kick to Watford. Coming towards the last minute of the game. Floated long there. Balmer with a header away. Willis with a chance of finishing it off. Gritt getting in there to get a valuable header away that time. Putney playing it wide again. A good burst here from Watford. Minto trying to get back. Excellent tackle there from Scott Minto. A great challenge. Gets the ball away when it began to look most dangerous. The ball into play. David Pleat, your man of the match.
Well, I've enjoyed several performances. Scott Minto, I think the pitcher's done well in midfield. And for Watford, Lavin's done well. But I'm going to give it to the action man, Andy Hessenthaler. I think he's been all over the place. He's stirred Watford on. He's shown tremendous legwork in the middle of the field. His passing's been adequate. He's done tremendous work for the team. He's been a real team player. He's made great breaks forward. And I think that he can put his feet up tonight.
And celebrate with some bubbly. Drysdale getting it wide again to Bazeley. And again. Knocked in by him. As Grant got it away. Gritt knocking it forward. We're now playing time added on at the end of 90 minutes. A bounce beating Steve Gritt just for the moment, but that 35-year-old brain was working overtime. Knocked it to where it was safe, but for how long? This time it's a Charlton throw.
The Barclays man of the match, Andy Hessenthaler.
Another throw for Charlton. Overall, a good example of First Division football here today, David.
I think so. Both have played with the shape, particularly Charlton, and the width has been very good. The attitude's been good. The passing, particularly of Charlton, has been very good. The whole enthusiasm, and I thought it was played in a very sportsmanlike game. I thought it was a first-class, enjoyable 1-1.
And only one offside, I think, in 90 minutes. 1-1 the final score then. Robinson with the first goal for Charlton, equalised by Ken Charlery for Watford in the second half.
Thank you very much, Brian. Well, there you are. I thought it was a fair result. Still to come today, action from Oakwell, where Barnsley have been taking on league leaders Newcastle. There's more.
Yeah, I did. I thought he's very good and he's very important to Watford. Does a lot of work. Never tires.
Good second half, wasn't it, by Watford? Good second half all in, I thought.
I thought it was a good game considering the conditions. It was very entertaining end to end, and it could have gone either way, and at the end of the day a draw was a fair result.
But it's amazing to say that there was no offsides, which, funny enough, in the first half when we were mentioning it, we said that it was so spread out. Do you think they were a little bit frightened, maybe, the hammer they got the other night?
That's right. They played with a bit of fear and didn't push up and leave holes behind them, and that contributed to the not a lot of offsides.
I thought the free kicks were good in the game. There's a bit of thought had been put into, I thought, Watford's free kick. This was a nice one, wasn't it? Putney involved, pretended they were going for the cross, square for Putney, brought a great save out of Bobby Boulder here. Now, Bobby had made a great save there, and then, unfortunately, he makes a wicket for the goal. But you were impressed with the build-up for this goal, yes?
Well, that's right. It started from the halfway line. There's 2 or 3, 4 passes, and then it's come out wide. And he's got a good crossing. Willis has done well, back post. He's headed it straight at keeper. He's bounced out, and Ken Charlery's pounced on it to put it in the back of the net for the equaliser.
Yeah, good. Now, well, I gathered down at the ground there, Simon Webster's there. Can we go there, Jim?
Yeah, we can, Saints, and I've got Simon Webster to give the Charlton viewpoint on things. We heard from Andy Hessenthaler that he thought that Watford were the better side today. I would think the Charlton boys might beg to differ with that.
Yeah, I think I'll go the opposite way. So it's a very close game. There's chances either end, but I think we sort of edged it in the end.
I mean, the particularly unusual facet of the game, there were just 2 offsides in the whole afternoon. The first one after 80 minutes. How do you explain that?
I didn't know that one, but I think both teams sort of try to play football, and then that sort of entails us playing a little bit deeper, maybe at the back. But I didn't realise that there was only so few offsides.
We're getting a bit into sort of a heavy ground season, aren't we? And I know that David Fleet and Brian Moore were mentioning that there were 1 or 2 tired legs out there at the end.
I think there was a few tired legs out there. It was a very heavy pitch. I think both teams worked very hard. We said that getting back to what we've been doing early on in the season and working hard for each other and getting more crosses and shots in. I think we've done that in recent weeks as opposed to what we've been doing in previous weeks.
It's hard, I know, to make an instant analysis, but do you feel that overall you might have just created the sharper, the better chances today?
I think in the first half we played the far better football. Maybe a 10-minute spell in the second half where it took us a little bit of time to get going. I thought we sort of took the game overall, really.
And after all the euphoria of, well, we were with you, weren't we, last week, of going back to the Valley, how hard was it to get down to the sort of a nitty-gritty, a muck and bullets game here today?
Well, I think everybody got taken along with the euphoria last week, and that sort of made it maybe a little bit easier for us to get the result. This week it was back down to earth, and we had to work very hard just to come and get the point.
Do you feel, though, just finally, that being back home at the Valley is going to help you this season and might help you back into the playoffs?
I think that's going to give the club the lift that it needs. I mean, the supporters have waited a very long time to get back there. I think it's going to be very important for the club itself to have a base to work from.
OK, and I think a bit of a celebration dinner tomorrow night, isn't it, for Charlton?
Yeah. We've got to do up London, and I think all the lads are going to attend that.
I think it could be a lively night. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
OK, so that's the story from Vicarage Road. Back to you and Barry Fry in the studio.
Thank you very much, Jim. I gather there's a few of our chap will be at that dinner, so it should be a goodie. Now, let's have a look at the Charlton angle on it in the second half as well, because they had 1 or 2 little chances as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they broke well and they played good football, and there was chances at both ends.
I thought Power did very well.
Power done very well on 3 occasions. That was a great cross. This has come off, and the defender really heads it, and it can only be an inch from an own goal. But
and then right from the corner kick, Pardew, I thought, had a great chance here. He's got to really hit the target, surely.
Yeah, one of the big men at the back's done well here. He comes and wins an header, and it bounces lovely for a great volley. 6 yards out, done at the target.
Oh, yeah. Now,
Great
we had mentioned before about the free kicks of Watford. Here's another one. This is a good free kick.
Drysdale again. Bob Boulder's far post. He's whipped it round the two-man wall right to the near post, and Bob Boulder's done very well to hold on to the ball, because there's a Watford player following up to put it in the empty net.
I thought Big Bob, as I said earlier, I thought Bob had a smashing game, and it's a pity that the goal was a one black mark against him today.
That's right, he played excellent, but like you say, the goal where Willis headed it and there was no power behind in his header, and it seemed to jump out of his hands, and Ken Charlery pounced on it and put it in the net.
But all in all, did you think it was a good game? You enjoyed the game?
It was very enjoyable, tremendous commitment from both sets of players, and like I say, at the end of the day, I thought a draw was a fair result. It could have went either way, but a draw was a fair result.
Yeah, I thought a draw was a fair result. But what I'm seeing in a lot of these games now, especially in the London matches, a lot of good young players appearing now. I mean, I know that you do your scouting in the non-leagues, in fact, picked up some great non-league players yourself. You look at some of these kids and you think, well, there could be a future for them higher up. Oh,
absolutely, definite. You know, there's 3 or 4 players playing out there that can play in the Premier Division tomorrow. No problem at all, and I think before long they will be.
OK. Right, now let's catch up on today's other matches. First to Oakwell Park for Newcastle against Millwall, and we'll be bringing you highlights of the morning kick-off between Brentford and West Ham. It all starts at the earlier time of 2:10. We'll leave you with the best of today's action at Vicarage Road. From us all in the London Match, bye-bye.